How's it going on, y'all? Welcome back to the channel, Quiz Trades. Happy 2026. This video is honestly something that was supposed to come out quite a while ago on Sunday. If you had watched my last video that I ended up taking down, it was just a simple trade recap. I did say, I was gone for December. I was taking a little break, trading break, and that's why I didn't upload. And then, I did say, Happy New Year's, all this. Um, and I actually decided I was going to do daily trade recaps. Last week I traded Tuesday. I was up every day. I didn't take trades Monday. I traded Tuesday. Didn't catch anything Wednesday. Traded Thursday. Didn't catch Friday. And then this week I've traded almost most of the days. I was gonna do daily trade recaps, and I decided I'm gonna do weekly reviews and recaps. So every Sunday, I know today's Thursday. I just, I guess I should wait till Sunday for this week's recap. But this last week's trade recap, right, from the 5th to the 9th, that week's trade recap is what is gonna be in this video. I'll do a full review, recap, all that stuff, and then the current week's trade recap will come out Sunday on the 18th. So yeah, I decided to do it like this just because I can explain it a little better once I get the whole week's hindsight. And then it's just easier for me. I'm a lot more busy now. You know, nine to five every day type shit like that. So I just don't have as much time to post videos every single day. But I will be doing longer, in-depth recaps. So yeah, let's get straight into it. Starting with Friday. What the fuck? I guess NQ doesn't exist anymore. Stop. I guess NQ does not exist anymore. Okay. So let's get straight into it. Going into Monday, what did I see? That Friday, right? This whole bearish move, I'm not even gonna talk about it. All right, I just knew this was happening. We had dumped, right? We had taken out all our previous day highs. We tapped into this daily bearish gap. So in my eyes, we were going from ERL to IRL. We are high time frame bullish. Why are we high time frame bullish? This month right here, November, tapped into this weekly monthly gap, and we mitigated a monthly low, got changed states to the upside. Now we're targeting all-time highs, right? That was a QMT4 model. 4 is monthly ranges, 3 is weekly ranges, 2 is daily ranges, QMT1 is intraday ranges. Otherwise, the actual model is still the same. PD array, liquidity sweep, high time frame bias and understanding, standard deviation, change in states, price functioning understanding, market phases, all these things, right? That's nothing new. That's all in the fundamentals video and this and this and this. What I saw was that this Friday had already fulfilled our IRL. Why is that? We tapped into this change in state level. We fulfilled this equilibrium level of this weekly range, and we pulled into this daily bullish gap. My opinion, IRL filled. What am I now waiting for? Change in states. We have 15 minutes change in states, which we got on the same day. And then we had another 15-minute change in state level up here. So going into Monday, what I wanted to see us do was slowly but surely trade up towards these draws, right? Previous day high, previous week high, and all-time highs, right? Especially when we have a bearish PDR like this, very dramatic move that holds a bearish PDR, I always expect us to trade through it. That's just what I've learned. That's how price reacts, right? So going into Monday, I have my high time frame understanding. We get our change in state here, right? We get our closure through. Now I'm looking for an intraday model. We fulfilled this 15-minute bullish gap. what I was waiting for was us to take out some some liquidity levels like this that are close to key opens that fulfill equilibrium on a range. So in my opinion, we had equilibrium here, and then for the current day, we had equilibrium here, which we perfectly tapped into at market open, or like that. Perfectly tapped into it during market open. We just didn't have any liquidity sweep, right? I wanted this swept, this low swept, this low swept, something swept to then send us higher. We didn't get that, so I didn't take any trades. Market did exactly as I wanted it to, though, right? We continued to climb bullish. We did not take out our previous day high. On ES, we did. So by now, ES had taken out previous day high. This was something keeping noted because this, in my opinion, just made me know that, okay, we are going to go higher. So Monday, I did not catch any trade, but price did pretty much do what I wanted to do. It continued this bullishness. We invalidated this entire gap. And to me now, that means Tuesday is going to continue this bullish trend. So now we go into Tuesday. Tuesday, we have this 4 hour. We have this 4 hour bullish gap, right? And then we mark out equilibrium of this range, which you can see we tap into equilibrium. We just missed this 4 hour, and then you look at ES, and you see ES did tap into this 4 hour, and we got a 4 hour liquidity sweep, right? So we have a fat SMT. To me, this was all I needed. I actually had limits set, and I entered the moment. No, I didn't have limits set. I woke up literally at like 12, right when this happened, and then I entered right away when I saw the SMT and I saw this, us tapping into this bullish gap and this and that. But for the sake of giving a good entry during New York AM, we move. So still waiting here. After this liquidity sweep, we get our high time frame change in state. We've gotten our 1 hour change in state. What does this mean? This means the next phase of price is a rebalance move. So I'm waiting. We leave this 1 hour bullish gap. And we have this 1 hour bullet, or this 1 hour low. So I'm waiting. When do we sweep this 1 hour low? We've already fulfilled equilibrium. Come down, turtle sweep that low, hold consequent encroachment of this 1 hour. Still waiting. Now what I'm waiting for is a change in state, right? So I want a strong closure through this. And I'll look for an entry, or that'll be a good entry for you guys. Again, I was already in this trade. This is just a review for how you can trade the QMT model. Here we actually did get our change in state on the 1 minute. So this would have been a good entry. Not only because we fulfilled equilibrium, had our 1 hour, had our high time frame bias and everything, we also just pulled under midnight open. So this is the most optimal entry. It's honestly an S plus trade. Like this has everything you need. Even if you haven't entered yet, you can see we're holding this change in state level. We're rejecting off of it. We retested a couple times there again, and then we continue to chop, and then eventually we get sent higher to, there we go, previous week high. Now, in my opinion, one of the most important factors to understand is how many days of distribution do we get after a model. So right here we put in our high time frame model, right? We had our previous day low sweep. Actually, this might be a week sweep as well. Yeah. So we have our previous week low sweep. So this is a QMT 3 model. So our previous week low sweep, we fulfill equilibrium on a weekly range. We get our change in state to the upside. How many days of distribution do we get? I've said this before in videos. After the model, the minimum distribution days is 2. You can always get more. You can get 3, 4, 5. Regardless, get 2. right? So we got 2 days of distribution, Monday, Tuesday. I'm now looking at Wednesday to be a reversal, keeping it in my head, right? Knowing that it has to be stacked with what? Daily PD array right here, high time frame liquidity sweep, previous week liquidity sweep. Not only that, I also want a level of standard deviation to align with this. So when we mark out standard deviation from Tuesday's model, right here. So this is, to me, a very hot zone. I want to see what price does when we pull here. So now we wait till Wednesday. So far we've taken one long. Going into Wednesday, we already swept previous day high. Okay, we've already swept previous day high. We do pull into this 1 hour bullish gap perfectly into consequent encroachment, and then we rip. I did not take a trade here. That doesn't mean there wasn't a trade. This right here, what's that? In hindsight, right? We get our change in states. We're trading out of this 1 hour gap. I'll tell you why I didn't take this trade. 1, we already swept previous day high. 2, we didn't fulfill a level of equilibrium. To me, there wasn't enough confidence to take this. Equilibrium was right here. We didn't fulfill it. You can always see a turtle soup to actually fulfill equilibrium. And until that happens, there's less conviction on if we reach the bottom. Market open, New York market open gave us our 1 hour change in state, right? So we're trading out of this 1 hour bullish gap. We sweep 1 hour lows. We get our 1 hour change in state. Next phase is rebalance. So now we're looking for a fractalized model. We leave this 15-minute bullish gap, and we get this 15-minute turtle soup. Now we're waiting for a change in state. Which we honestly pretty high up. Also mark out equilibrium really quick. So it's this candle here. So yeah, we pull into equilibrium and everything. To me, this just wasn't the best setup purely because price action was just shitty. Alright, as you can see, price action was completely shit. I didn't take these longs. Is it a good long? It's not bad. Is it necessary to take? Not necessarily, and I'll tell you why. Because, as I said prior, 2 days of full distribution. Wednesday has now taken out previous week high. We've pulled into our standard deviation levels. We're in a daily bearish PD array, and we have a high time frame understanding that we're going now from ERL to IRL. So Wednesday we don't take anything, okay? We've taken longs on Tuesday. Our idea of Monday was correct. Our idea of Wednesday was correct, but I'll show you the most important thing. The way this Wednesday closes. Bang. If you watched my QMT fundamentals video, which if you haven't yet, you're missing out on the most important videos, most important and most informational trading videos on YouTube. The way this candle closed, we have closed back within the range that we have swept. This is a high sign of a reversal, right? If we close with structure through a high that we just took out, my target for the next day is that same high. Because we're closing within this range, my target is no longer the high Wednesday for Thursday, it's the low. Or at least substantial IRL. Okay? So now we're going into Thursday with Wednesday being our reversal. So we're trading down from here. That means I'm targeting something over here. Here we get our change in state. Right? Bang. Get our change in state. At the same time, we also take out previous day low. Does this mean I don't expect us to come any lower? No, not at all. Not at all. I do expect us to come down to Tuesday low. Because the change in state is a Wednesday candle, but for Wednesday sweeping Tuesday high. Okay, that's what our change in state is for. So Wednesday low getting taken out was a given. I'm focused now on Tuesday low. We have this 4-hour BPR, right? We inverse this 4-hour bullish gap, and we leave this bearish gap. We leave London highs there. I know it's a little messy, just lots of lines. I get it. I had limits set at 25805. Price pulled into that perfectly prior to New York Open. And then you can see us absolutely shit the bed. So this was the second main trade of the week that I caught. Very clean. We had high time frame understanding that Wednesday was a reversal. We're targeting IRL. I'm targeting Tuesday low. We have bearish PDRAs, right? The daily gap. We have our liquidity sweep. We fulfill equilibrium because we are way further into premium of any range, whether weekly, bi-weekly, monthly, bi-monthly, whatever range. We are very high up. So we are in premium of that entire range. To me, this was the cleanest setup of the week, purely because we have a 4-hour BPR as well, and we have 4-hour liquidity sweeps. Everything that we needed is 4-hour and above, which gives us a very high time frame confirmation. I had taken profits at this low. I still thought that we would come down to Tuesday low, which we didn't. Which is actually, wait, I think we did. Let me see. No, we didn't. Which is fine, right? So as long as you have it confirmed, right? So this to me was the most obvious, simply because we had these three, like this low, this low, this low. To me, were all stacked. Bang. And then this low as well. I took profits at this low. If we check ES, yeah. So we got a SMT on ES. Oh no, we didn't. Oh shit. No, we didn't. Was that in? Yeah. Bang. And then we had NFP on Friday. I still thought we were gonna be bear. I was still bearish for Friday. I still, just because I took profits at that low, that didn't mean I didn't think we were gonna come down for Tuesday low. I still thought we were gonna come lower. I thought we were gonna hold this bearish gap and then send us down. So I didn't take any trades Friday. There were trades, right? Because after that previous day low, we're basically waiting for this change in state level. We reject it here. We reject it again, and then we get a liquidity sweep. We get an hour liquidity sweep. Price action just was a little funky to me. So we get this. We sweep these lows. We get this 15-minute change of state. We get a 15-minute rebalance. So this could have been a good entry right here. And then we continue going higher as we close to this, right? So to me, this would have been the best entry, the most clear, after getting liquidity sweep, change in state, because I was bearish. So because I was bearish, I would want this full type of setup where I'm not just taking it off a limit or anything. I wanted a full change in state, then a rebalance, then we climb higher. Overall, for the first week, price action was a little funky, right? The main days to me was catching any distribution leg, Monday, Tuesday, not Wednesday because we already swept previous day high, but Monday, Tuesday distribution legs were peak, and then catching this reversal from Wednesday, or like catching this dump on Thursday from Wednesday's reversal, was also the best. Those conditions were the best trading wise. You definitely could have caught Friday's move. You definitely could have caught Wednesday longs, but these two understandings of trading the leg after the model, to me, is the highest probability. So trading the distribution legs after this bearish high time frame model is ideal. Catching this bearish distribution leg after this bullish high time frame model is ideal, right? I will be doing this the current week that I'm like from Monday the 11th to 17th or the 16th. that trade recaps, that week's worth of trade recaps will be released and dropped on Sunday. Um, I just wanted to get this out because I have been procrastinating this one, and I've just felt like, oh, I'm a video behind. I'm a video behind. So I just wanted to get this out. It's kind of why it's a little messy. I'm a little not as in depth as I would want it. It's because it was a week ago, so my exact like thinking, my exact emotional process, and all this is kind of out the window because of this week. But I can guarantee you that this week, the week that I'm in, the trading was a lot better. So you guys will be getting a more in-depth video. Price action was also a lot better. Um, and yeah, the main indices I trade right are NQ Gold, and then a bunch of like options like Tesla, Meta, energy stocks, a bunch of things like that. I'm also trading now, but on gold, this previous week was also peak, which I'll tell you that the only main day I traded was Thursday, right? Um, so gold kind of did the same thing. The 31st had put in a model, um, and then this Monday had given us our change in state. Right, Monday had closed through, so I didn't really take anything Monday. I didn't take anything Tuesday. I didn't take anything Wednesday because we were in this bearish gap, and I also did want to stick with the high time frame. So what I did see was, as our change in state, we left this bullish gap, and we fulfilled equilibrium, right? Because it's Monday, so it's this internal weekly range. So I actually loaded up on calls here. I will talk about how. I mean, you can tell Monday I was up a lot, right? I loaded up on calls on Thursday, and then Monday opened up, and we were at all time highs. So those calls absolutely cooked. That's honestly why this week has been so good. But I will also talk about the other trades that I took. Like I did take some overnight shorts some days and stuff like that, but the main like swing position I took on gold was calls on Thursday, just because it fulfilled our model. We got our change state to the upside. We had a it came out of this weekly model, right? This gave us our weekly liquidity sweep. This is QMT3, and then I fractalized it. We got our daily change in state, meaning we're targeting these weekly highs. We got our rebalance. This QMT That's the QMT2 model. We had previous day low sweep, daily bullish gap, equilibrium on an intra-week level, and then ripped from there. So those are the main things. Um, so a gold and NQ recap and review of the current week that I'm in will come out on Sunday. I did hope you guys I do hope you guys enjoyed the video. I do hope that you guys had a good trading week last week. I know there's a lot of people complaining about price action. You know, it is January. The year will start a little slow, but I'm sure that will be picking up. Um, I will talk about how I expect both gold and NQ, or at least NQ, how I think it will play out coming into like February in the next video. So stay tuned for that. Comment any questions if you guys have any. Like, subscribe, and I'll see you guys just in a couple days. Yeah, I'll see you guys then. Peace.